The video I'm about to allow you watch, of course, is an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener because from what we are seeing, the Fulani militias, the bandits, they are already changing strategy. They are already doing other things. And of course, this one is from Edo State. A situation where a good number of Fulanis were arrested in Edo State recently. And guess what? They went to burgle someone's house, someone's store. And they have mastered the art of doing this. You should watch the video shortly because it's surprising, because if not for the effort of the locals who apprehended them, perhaps nobody would be able to know that they are into this act. But let us quickly look at some areas of success against bandits, against criminality in Nigeria before I will shortly allow you to watch that video. This one is coming from the Vanguard newspaper, a tweet from Vanguard newspaper. He said, police arrest 5 notorious bandit leaders in Abuja, recover large catch of arms and ammunition. It's a welcome development, I must tell you, because for me, anywhere success is coming against banditry, against terrorism, whether from the armed forces, whether from the local, for me, it's a welcome development. This second one is coming from, of course, the Guardian newspaper. It's a tweet from the Guardian newspaper. He's saying, security operatives in Kaduna State have arrested a suspected drug supplier to bandits, a terrorist group leader, and a child trafficking syndicate, while also recovering arms, ammunition, and roasted livestock. Equally a welcome development. I must tell you, we don't waste time in acknowledging such and bringing it to your knowledge. Let me show you this last one very briefly so that you watch the video for yourself. This one is coming from one Azik Umuna. He's saying, Kaduna hunters, commander killed. A sad one anyway, but they go for that to say that 3 bandits neutralized in fierce gun battle. The second part of it is a good one, because for me, it's a legitimate thing to neutralize bandits. It's a legitimate thing to arrest bandits and take them to the court, let the court make pronouncement, and let them subject them to act as deterrent to others. But let me not waste your time. Watch the video as we come back to further this conversation.
What will be your name?
Boka.
Boka, what will be your name?
Nura.
Eh?
Nura.
2 come out today, mad?
Nura.
Eh?
Nura.
Nura, what will be your name?
Kabiru.
Kabiru, what will be your name?
Yakubu.
What will be your name?
Azam.
Azam. Show I beg you, Sunu. All these people now, without a complaint for Benin ever since, say, see what Aboki they do, see what Fulani they do. But those state governments think say maybe we they play. You just feel reluctant. You don't want to do anything about them. These people, they go from road to road. They vandalize government property. They vandalize all those drillage. That one not reach. They will go people house. They will go put people road. They will go people completed that if they're not there house. They will go put their wire. Now, they call this store. When I see how this store big reach, I'll go show you now where they bust. They enter just now. Just imagine, they call this store. They carry more than 100 crates of drinks. More than 100 crates, maybe today. Oh. Nah. They even get master key when they say they open this place. When I see what they happen for Edo, Magigwala Boki, Magigwala Fulani. This video so may get to the whether not Governor Mode Bevolo. Because the time when Edo youth go take verse come out, it go be problem. That day, they kill them, what's the recording? Fulani for Uromi. Government, a big governor, you run, come out. Go to settle with Northerners. Now, see what they do for our state. How you want to do this one? But don't get me up. Come go show me the place where they bust. Come go show me the place. See how this top big rich. Nothing they do shop again. They don't vandalize everything. More than 100 crates of drinks. Now they pack. More they talk now. More the government. They open and go show them where they bust the enter. Come. Okay. From which other corner? Okay.
Different place.
Now different place. See how they can hear fear. See where they bust. When they see the bust the carriage drink, they enter, they pass here, the carriage drink, they come out. Where the other side? With the talk and I feel like saying a film. Because when we start to slaughter all this Aboki, and all these Fulani people, it go be like, near you where I been in London. Okay.
Maybe don't tell what they pursue you for the
See how they cut all the nets. Excuse body enter. They go they pack people drink. Another one still there back. That one now no fit enter. They don't put block for them. When I see what they happen, more than say nothing they destroy again. They don't empty everything. When I can't talk as now, I take me. Come, where you? Come. Una allergy. Una allergy. Sit down. Sit down. If you have the wagon, Ubegayan, Alaboki, Eya, Aboki Fulani, and Eyaki. Now you go Aboki Yedo. Even right now, Aboki and Fulani, Eya Bruce Yedo. Aboki, oh, when my job, my brother, the ass will go. Full person ass. When they never even complete, they don't poo all the protector. Class, nerf, the full inside. You don't see how many class we bring. All of them will go to yes.
So a quick one, let me get your thoughts. Let us know what we are talking about this. Because for me, one opinion is that it's a welcome development and we need more of this because each time we see such, it glasses one heart. Because the more you arrest corporates, the more arrest those who have potential to cause public disturbance, the more safe the public becomes. But let us equally remember that somebody should be bold enough to tell the lies of Kal Baraji that his recent statement that they brought Fulani militias into the country to remove Jonathan from office, that Jonathan is no longer in the saddle, that they should do well to take them out. And let us equally look at this situation of Kwara State. Because it's worrisome seeing that in this 21st century, something that reportedly happened in sometime 18th century, talking about how the Fulanis took over the once Yoruba community in Ilorin. So why are we seeing this level of insecurity occasioned by Fulani militias in Kwara State? Does it mean the Fulanis have unfinished business in Kwara State? And as we speak, nobody is questioning their authority in terms of the monarchical system of government that is prevalent in Kwara State. So why this unnecessary waste of lives and property in Kwara State? Why are they sacking communities? Or is it their intention to sack the communities and take over their ancestral homes? That is where the government must come in. The federal government, the Kwara State government, and even local governments in Kwara State must come in quickly as possible. We understand that in the recent time, we have seen local governments, some local governments in a senatorial district in Kwara State suspending market activities to pave way for addressing this insecurity. But as we have it, communities are already, people in some communities are already living in their numbers. I must say it's unacceptable that the government must write to the occasion to protect the lives and property of those people in that part of the country. Because the only thing they committed is for being peaceful, being in that part of the country. As far as I'm concerned, I support every government effort to arrest, to prosecute, to neutralize bandits, whether at the level of state governments, at the level of local governments, at the level of federal government. Every effort that is geared towards decimating bandits, I'm in for it. I'm in support. Because these are people who have no justification for taking to arm. More so, as it has been proven that most of them are foreigners. That is where I question the position of Shegumi, who often canvass non-kinetic approach to address the issue of banditry. Because you begin to ask, if you are saying negotiate with bandits, are you proposing negotiation with foreigners who come here to undermine your sovereignty? For me, the best approach to protect Nigeria's territorial integrity is for federal government in synergy with state governments, local governments, to possess monopoly of currency power, to smoke the bandit out of their hiding places, send them running and bring them to justice. For me, that's a legitimate thing to do. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's no basis for negotiation. Negotiating on what basis? With who? Well, as far as I'm concerned, these are miscreants, common criminals. Whether you call yourself Ada Aleru, you call yourself Akwashi, the one that is currently operating in Faskari local government area of Katsina State, you call yourself Toji Bello. As far as I'm concerned, you're a common criminal. And I pray that the likes of Akwashi, the likes of Toji Bello, the likes of Ada Aleru must be arrested and prosecuted to act as deterrent to others. Alternatively, they should be neutralized in the battlefield. As far as I'm concerned, it is a legitimate thing to do. Because how can you explain a situation where only Maiduguri Cemetery is having up to 840 something Nigerian military personnel who are buried there? These are people who were disallowed by Boko Haram members. This was a testimony of a former Senate Committee on Army, talking about Senator Allen Duman, who made the revelation in sometime 2019 or so. So for me, the legitimate thing to do is to get them arrested, prosecuted to act as deterrent to others, or get them neutralized in the battlefield. It's a legitimate thing to do because they have no value for human life. More so are the foreigners. Because Kawu Baraje made it clear the other time that they brought them in from neighboring countries to remove Jonathan from office. Now the question is, after removing Jonathan from office, what is their business in Nigeria currently? So by now they ought to have gone back to where they came from. Hence they achieved their aim of removing Jonathan from office. So why disturbing people, sacking people from their ancestral homes, taking, kidnapping for ransom, maiming, raping, and all of that? It's quite unfortunate that we are see where we are, because even the revelation that came from a former House of Assembly member in Borno State has shown that there is complicity on the part of some northern elements. Because this man made it very clear that the Jonathan government was doing excellently well, particularly when the election of 2015 was postponed for 2 weeks to enable the then government achieve results in the fight against insurgency. Because the then government of Jonathan was already being apprehensive that he will not get the support of the North if he's not able to fight Boko Haram. So the desperate government then went and brought in missionaries who, according to that former House of Assembly member, were doing excellently well, leveraging on technology to decimate Boko Haram. And according to him, they were leveraging on technology and they were bringing results before and after every precision bombing. Or can we forget in a hurry the position of the former governor of Adamawa State, talking about Murtala Nyako, who accused the then government of Jonathan of genocide against the North. And the reason was not far-fetched. The reason he accused them was because the then government of Jonathan was giving the Boko Haram a heavy blow through the then chief of army staff, General Ihejerika. So we cannot forget in a hurry how the accusation came. So, and now the problem is that insecurity that was hitherto in the North is now being exported to the southern part of the country. It's already a national problem. So everybody is now facing the problem. That is why, as urgently as possible, all levels of government must come together to address this. Personally, I've been a very strong advocate that the governors should be allowed to have some level of security power. Of course, we understand that going by the recent initiative of federal government, talking about forest guards, it have come to give them that opportunity. But unfortunately, they are not states that is majorly ravaged by insecurity is not jumping at this opportunity. That's why we encourage the likes of Zamfara governor, who recently complained that with his position as the governor of the states, that he has been able to acquire some level of security, some level of equipment, technology that enables them to monitor, to know the movement and location of bandits. And that the only thing that is lacking is the ability, the power to command the security architecture into operation. And I want to say that with this Forest Guard initiative, he has gotten that power, if only he will cling to it. Because hence, it is at liberty to recruit personnel. Definitely the locals will be involved in the operation because it has been established that all crime is local. And if all crime is local, and you have been asked to recruit personnel, because I understand that as at the last count, federal government already directed states to start recruiting between 2,000 and 5,000 personnel, depending on their financial capacity to pay. I want to say at this point that the money to pay shouldn't be an issue, because in recent time we have seen state governments agree with federal government that they are getting more money as a result of policy of federal government, talking about subsidy removal of gasoline and education of FS at the official window. So the money the federal government hit to spend in subsidizing gasoline, in subsidizing FS at the official window, that is now being freed, is now being shared among the 3 tiers of government. So if it means more money for state governments, it means state government now have more money to fight insecurity. Because we are meant to understand that the federal government, or rather the government, is raking in 4 trillion at the end of the year from subsidy removal on gasoline. And they're raking another estimate of 4 trillion naira from the location of FS at the official window. You are talking about 8 trillion, and this money comes as going concern. It's not as if you wait at the end of the year before you receive it. So as it's coming monthly, as the state government, local government, federal government gather in Abuja through FAC to share the money monthly, they disburse it, and everybody go back to his state with his own share. So the question is, those state governments or state governments should leverage on that extra funding, that increased funding, to fight this menace of insecurity occasioned by Fulani militaries. But I must quickly tell you that when you talk about Fulani militaries, we are dealing with a very formidable force. Because the global terrorism desk is very clear that the Fulani military of Nigerian extraction, I think emphasis should be laid on that Nigerian extraction, is the 4th most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. That's why I say emphasis should be laid on Nigerian extraction. For you to know that we are dealing with a very formidable force that needs and demand for the might and wrath of federal government of Nigeria. Talking about the emphasis. More so as we have seen in recent time, where even a Fulani group will attack a city governor. Talking about the Benue State, the Benue State governor, Autumn, who was attacked. And shortly after the attack, a group that go by the name of Fulani Nationality Women came to say, we did it. They even both said that the then governor was lucky, that next time he will not be that lucky. So hence we know that we are dealing with a very formidable force. We are seeing serious level of attack in what looked like genocide in Benue State, because as at the time we saw that attack in Benue State, a monarch who addressed the president while the president went to show empathy came out to say this is not herder farmer clashes, that this is genocidal in nature. Even in Borno State, even in Plateau State, when we saw about 50-something persons being disallowed in a particular instance, the governor Mufwang came out to say that this is purely genocide. So it means it deserves federal government serious attention, serious priority. But I'm particularly happy because the government is showing some level of serious concern, seeing how some party leaders are being arrested, seeing how, of course, they are making moves to acquire more air platform, about 50 of them, to increase the capacity of the armed forces to fight them, seeing how they are giving attention to community-based policing through forest guard, seeing that the federal government, the president himself, have made clear that he is going to give attention to state police. So let us see how state government came into this as we go forward. But meanwhile, it's a developing story. The issue of insecurity is a collective demand for a collective and concerted effort. It cannot be overemphasized. It's something we'll continue discussing. But at this point, I must say very big thank you for your time. This is Live Media, and I'm Mr. Matu.